Welcome back, Ultimate League. It's the commish. Been out 2 weeks. I have a lot to cover in this video. Let's get straight into it. First, back into the Week 8 scoreboard. Ultimate League Fantasy Scoreboard. Sunday Murder 6 getting a 121-106 win over Esmid No Romo, yours truly. Beat Mike Hunt continues his win streak with a 110-54 beatdown of Team Zimmer Manti Te'o. Area Nation getting an 86-52 win over Josh Redskins. Team Ive continuing the hotness, going to 95-73 win over Team Harris. TC Raw, number 1 in the league, getting a big win, 124-102 over Rod and Really Fucking Good. Steelers Society squeaking out a win against Team Frano, 65-56. And Team Grimwald, we thought he was going to get his third tie, but no. 83-82 win over the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers. During that week after Week 8, which is not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, we had massive trades going on. And let's bring up the trades right now. First, I went and shopped off Darius Heyward-Bey, Kenny Stills, receiver New Orleans, Heyward-Bey, receiver Indianapolis Colts, Pierre Thomas, running back New Orleans, to Team Zimmer Manti Te'o for Ray Rice, running back of the Baltimore Ravens. That was the first Week 9 trade. Second, Dave's team, the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers, shipped off T.Y. Hilton and Alshon Jeffrey to Aryan Nation to get Giovanni Bernard, running back of the Cincinnati Bengals. Then we went right into last week's scoreboard, which happened to be Esmid No Romo, my team, beat Mike Hunt, Mark Zanfini 79-74. Got really close at the end there, Mark, but I got the win. Team Grimwald with a huge win, a 126-93 win over Team Zimmer Manti Te'o. TC Raw squeaked out a win over Cold War Steelers to Society 68-57. And Little Lebowski Urban Achievers beat Team Harris 129-91. Team I getting a 106-92 win over Josh Redskins, and Team Frano getting a 77-59 win over Rod and Really Fucking Good, and Area Nation continue on the hot streak, a 109-84 win. Now, some big things that happen. Hunt traded away Giovanni Bernard. He goes off for plus 20 points, gets Dave Urban Achievers a 129-91 win. Aaron Rodgers, Hunt's player on the Aryan Nation, quarterback, is now sidelined from 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured collarbone. So, after hearing that news, we had some more trades, and that happened this week. Just happening to yesterday, Mark Zanfini beat Mike Hunt, who holds currently Phillip Rivers and Cam Newton, shipped off Cam Newton and Rashard Mendenhall, Cam Newton, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, Rashard Mendenhall, running back of the Arizona Cardinals, to Aryan Nation Mike Hunt for the Alshon Jeffrey he just received from Dave, and running back Mike James, running back of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as he receives Cam Newton in place of Aaron Rodgers, who's now out to 4 to 6 weeks. If you can do math, 4 to 6 weeks will put Aaron Rodgers' optimistic viewpoint of returning in the first round of the playoffs, Week 15. Pessimistic viewpoint coming out around Week 16, championship week, or not returning for the fantasy season. So a big move made by Mike Hunt and Aryan Nation. Let's get right into the Week 9 standings. As you can see, Tyler Knoll, as he keeps doing it. We have a two-way tie for first, but Tyler Knoll at the top, 7-2, 940 points, total points scored. And him and Team Ive, who is 6-1-2, 911 total points scored, both have a .778 winning percentage. They are tied at the top. Second place, clear and cut, my team, Esmid No Romo, 6-3, 861 total points. And fourth place, or a four-way tie for fourth place between Sunday Murderer 6, 5-4, Steelers Society 5-4, Aryan Nation 5-4, and Team Grimwald 4-3-2. Remember, the top 4 teams make the playoffs. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. So right now, because of Nick's total points of 876, he would be the 4th team, Sunday Murder 6, making the playoffs. After that, we have a 3-way tie for 4th. Little Lebowski Urban Achievers beat Mike Hunt and Josh Redskins at 4-5. Look at Zanfini. After starting the league 0-5, he's managed to get 4 wins, and he is still in the thick of things. Excuse me, Team Zimmerman Taiteo is also tied for 4th, a 4-way tie. Team Zimmerman Taiteo had 3, 4, and 2, also in the thick of things. Rotten Really Fucking Good is at 2-6-1, along with Team Fran, who started 0-6, is at 2-6-1. And Team Harris, with his loss, he has now gone to 2-7, 7 losses. The defending 2012 Ultimate Fantasy Leagues champion, your season is now over. That's right, folks. He can say no. He is not going to be able to make the playoffs mathematically unless everyone drops a multitude of games, but it's going to be safe to say that he will not be making the playoffs this season. Travis, you are a great champion. Hold on to the trophy. You'll be presented to another champion at next year's draft. Let's go into another statistic that I have for us here, and that is, if you take a look at it, this is the rest of the week's strength, or the rest of the league's rest of the season strength of schedule. I put this together about a week ago, never got into the video. So this is taken, it still takes into account last weekend's games, but from there on out, what it does is it takes the win total of number of teams that you're about to face the rest of the year, take their win totals, and then divide it by 6. From last week, there were 6 games left in the season. Right now, there's only 5, weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and it takes that and divides it by that number. So as you can see, a 3-way tie for first the rest of the season strength of schedule is Team Travis Harris, who doesn't really matter because he's out of the playoffs, beat Mike Hunt, Mark Zanfini, and Team Frano, who are still, Zanfini has the most likely realistic chance. Team Frano would have to win from here on out, or 7-6-1. That seems pretty unlikely. Next up, we have Michael Hunt's team, Aryan Nation, with a 3.16 rest of the season strength of schedule percentage, number 2 of the recent season strength of schedule. Team Grimwald in number 3 at 3.3 at Team Grimwald at number 3 with a 3.33 strength of schedule remaining. SMID, No Romo, and Sunday Murderer 6, and Rotten Really Fucking Good, all having a 3.5 ROSOS. Rest of the season strength of schedule. Little Lebowski Urban Achievers at 3.66. Steeler to Society at 4.0. TC Raw, the top team in the league, he has the 7th hardest rest of the season strength of schedule at 4.16. Look at that, following up again. Him is the number 2 team, the other tied person for first in the league, Team Ibe. That's a 4.66 rest of the season strength of schedule. Team Zimmerman Taiteo also with a 4.66 rest of the season strength of schedule, and the person with the hardest strength of schedule remainder of the season is Josh Shredskin's Divine's team, who is sitting at 4-5 and with a 4.83 rest of the season strength of schedule. So that gives you an idea of who can make the playoff run. Who's going to make that playoff run with that easy schedule? Looks like the people in the best position to do so would be beat Mike Hunt and Aryan Nation, as along with Team Grimwald, SMID, No Roma, and Sunday Murderer 6. My team and Nick's team are already tied for, I'm at number 2 in the league. Nick is tied for 4th at the tiebreaker, so we are sitting pretty good right now. All right, let's go ahead and look at this week's games. First and foremost, my team, SMID, No Roma. Like I said, I have a little bit easier rest of the season strength of schedule, and I'm playing Team Zimmerman Taiteo this week. Going against the Big Jew, not picking that game, but obviously we'll have a good one there. Next up, we have Rotten Really Fucking Good against Sunday Murderer 6. Shane Revise's team has not worked out for him thus far. He's had to deal some people away. I gave him MJD. He's trying to deal some other people away. Going up against Sunday Murderer 6, Nick Adams, one of the best teams in the league. Shane, your team is just pitiful. Your fantasy management has been shit. I can't even give you these insults. Let the video do that.
You're just a woman with a small brain. With a brain a third the size of us. It's science.
How tall are you, Private?
Sir, 5'9", sir!
5'9". I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
That's exactly how I feel. Right now, Nick is projecting a 104-97 win over him. Drew Brees going against Dallas, Andrew Luck against St. Louis, with some other players going on today. I'm going to go out and say that, of course, Nick Adams gets that Sunday Murder 6, and a close one wins that game. Next up, matchup of the week, Team Ibe against TC Raw. Team Ibe, 6-1-2 against the other number one team against number one team. This is like when the Broncos are going to be facing the Kansas City Chiefs. The top two teams in the league, TC Raw 7-2, Team Ibe 6-1-2, going up against each other this week. Big matchup. We have Matthew Stafford going up against Peyton Manning. We have Fred Jackson against Reggie Bush. We have Sean Green against Danny Woodhead. Pretty good matchup this week. Team Ibe had a big point scoring last week to Andre Johnson. He didn't even have Peyton Manning in. Right now projecting a 110-84 play against Team Ibe. I'm actually going to roll with the projections, and TC Raw wins to get to 8-2, and I am pretty much going to clinch him a playoff berth at 8-2. He will be clinched if he wins this game. All right. Next up, we have Steelers to Society at Josh Redskins. 5-4 against 4-5. Both of these guys need to keep winning. Cole in a better position to make the playoffs right now, as he's up there. I believe he is in a four-way tie for third place in the league for that fourth playoff spot. Four-way tie. Josh Redskins getting Russell Wilson going against Atlanta. Case Keenum, Cole's rocking this week against Arizona since he's been hurt with Michael Vick. Cole's rocking a 111-102 projected total right now against Josh Redskins. I'm going to say Josh Redskins wins this battle this week. Next up, Aryan Nation against Little Lebowski Urban Achievers. Another kind of close games between records, 5-4 against 4-5. People, two teams still in the heart of the playoff race to get to that third spot or second spot in the league. It's all wide open right now. Hunt's going to be rocking out his brand new Cam Newton up against the gnarly San Francisco defense, or Dave's rocking his brethren, the Gingerhead, Andy Dalton going against Baltimore. Forte against Peterson, Lacey against Chris Johnson. This is going to be a high-scoring matchup, I think. And I'm going to go out and say that Andy Dalton has the bigger game against Baltimore. Forte in a high-scoring affair against the Detroit Lions. And Peterson doesn't get too much going against the Redskins on a Thursday night battle, and say Little Lebowski Urban Achievers gets the victory. Next up, Team Harris against Team Frano. Two bottom dwellers of the league. If Frano loses this game, his season could be over. Ew. Team Frano with a 2-6-1 record going against Team Harris. Team Frano rocking a Terrell Pryor at the New York Giants. Team Harris rocking the Big Ben, Roethlisberger, CJ Spiller, Lamar Miller, Steven Jackson, Ben Tate. I'm going to go out and say that Team Frano gets a squeaker in this one and wins this game. And finally, Mark Zanfini against Team Grimwald. 4-5 against 4-3-2. Both these guys in very close battles to getting into the playoffs. Beat Mike Hunt. Mark Zanfini has the easiest strength of schedule for the team with the best record for the rest of the year. This probably is his hardest matchup for the rest of the season. Excuse me. Phillip Rivers. Now he is Zanfini is riding all in on Phillip Rivers since he dealt off Cam Newton. He's going to rock out his new acquisitions of Mike James and Alshon Jeffrey, along to go with Megatron and Deshaun Jackson. Right now, a 120-108 projection for Team Grimwald. Here's the thing about Team Grimwald that people are not seeing. His team is not a bunch of stars, but they are starting to bang on all cylinders, my friend. And this is because of the emergence of players that people didn't see coming out of nowhere showing up. Look at Grimwald. He had the foresight to pick up Zach Stacy a very long time ago. He's killing it right now. Alfie Morris is finally turning on the juices. Grimwald is thinking he's going to ride on the Nick Foles money train of that big performance he had last week. And right now, he's getting a big projection. Also, Grimwald rocking out with The Rock, Rashard Jennings, and Brandon Marshall. So, that all being said, in a big game from Jimmy Graham, I'm going to say Team Grimwald gets this and gets in a big position for the rest of the season at 5-3-2. Well, that's it, guys. I know that was a lot to cover. I'm the commish. Good luck at Week 10. Next weekend, the Ultimate Fantasy League returns to Harrington's Casino in Delaware. I'll see you with another video next week and our Harrington Smart Picks. I am the Commish, and I am out.